Good morning, friends around the world. Good morning, friend just north. States.
Good morning, friend.
States north.
Yes, in the colder north, yes.
Have you enjoyed the images I send you of the warm weather down here? Is that bringing you
No, I
warmth?
have not. I have
Oh, okay.
not. And no, they have not. But it's okay. I have made friends with the cold. A lot of health
This is
benefits
good.
from being out in the cold. I'm telling
Sure.
myself. So,
Just rationalize away.
yes.
We are here for a different kind of warmth, if you will. Warmth in our hearts.
It looks warm. It's
It does. It
golden.
looks.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. It was just like sunny and warm. We are back with. Trying to say his name correctly is Mahesh Kale, I believe is the name, and we have a little note on this thanks to Dinkar. Says he's performing the Raga Jog, Jog, which is a nighttime raga. The bandish, if I recall correctly, refers to the Hindustani song structure. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. And so it starts as a slow tempo and then a drut, which is the fast tempo before improvising further into the grand finale. So we're starting to become a little familiar with the structure here. Mm-hmm. And that is what we're going to dive into.
Yes, indeed. But before we do, if you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe. We're ringing that bell so you always know what is happening with our channel.
And the beautiful thing here is I think it's a TV show, and we pre-tested. We do not have to put the filter on top of it, which is great. So we actually get to enjoy the whole thing. We can watch it.
A rarity, yes.
Yes.
आणि ती ऐकण्याची उत्सुकता तुमच्याप्रमाणेच मलाही आहे. चला तर
There
मग
he is.
जोरदार टाळ्यांनी स्वागत करूया महेश काळेचं.
Ooh, that's interesting. I like this call and answer.
साजन मोरे घर आए साजन मोरे घर आए साजन मोरे घर आए साजन मोरे घर आए मन मेरो सुख पाए मन मेरो सुख पाए साजन मोरे घर आए.
Oh my God, the irony of we get to watch it and all I want to do is close my eyes and disappear.
Good point. Yeah, it's like any good meditation. I find my eyes just like it just draws you down into that silence.
Yes, it's your brain wants to shut off whatever senses it doesn't need to fully experience what's taking place.
Real quick though,
Yeah.
very interesting. Like you were saying with the call and answer, like that aspect of it. But also, I don't think we've heard too much unison singing, multiple people singing the same melody, which is impressive in the sense when you have a type of music that is so intricate and as we've been learning, it's more than just 12 notes. It's you got 22 basically with the shrutis, and obviously the different ragas, and to be able to match all those little things and be really quite in unison.
And on top of
really
that,
impressive.
at the tempo in which they're doing it. So anytime you have the tempo extremely quick or very slow, and this one is slow at this point in the piece, that's even harder to get the timing to move exactly together in unison. So yeah, it's very, very cool. this. Let me pause it here. I know we have a long way to go. I don't want to pause it too often, but this call and answer is very refreshing too, because he's changing it up. I don't know. I'm assuming that's somewhat improvised. It feels like he's giving them, this is yours, kind of like piecemealing the melody a little bit. I don't know if that's rehearsed or not, but it feels like they're hearing it for the first time and responding, echoing that back with their own instrument, which is a great exercise to do. They've done similar things like this in our past Throga retreats, things like that, when you're working with a group of people, and it's just a great way to connect musically and learn to listen to each other. So I love that's kind of baked into the performance as we're listening to it here.
It's so interesting too. It's like they're communicating with each other, which they are in a sense, but
just without a higher plane.
It's it's like just the way that he's directing them, and almost like he's just talking to them directly. It's really interesting.
It really is. I also noticed that it looks like there's a combination of both Hindustani and Carnatic percussive instruments. Correct me if I'm wrong in that. I know that tabla is usually associated with the Hindustani, but there's the other instrument, that the longer one. Can't see my other hand. The longer one. I can't remember the name of it. If you can please remind me. I thought that was typically associated with Carnatic music, or maybe that's fluid between the two. I'm not sure.
Yeah, real quick too. It's outside of music, but I just want to point out the amazing color scheme in the fashion. I was watching a video the other day, and it was talking about, even in America, how colors have kind of gone out by the wayside, and now everything is just monochromatic. It's like a version of gray.
I've noticed that.
So to see just vibrant colors just is a welcoming sight anyway, in everything people are wearing, and then that's the overall presentation too. It's just,
and now that you mention it, I've always associated India with vibrant colors in my mind. Yeah. There's definitely a connection there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That instrument. Oh, what breath control. Manipulation there.
Minor major.
I remember
taking that major tone a little flat with it, and it kind of gives a that shruti that he's doing. I don't remember exactly what each shruti is called. I'm still getting.
I remember sa and pa, so it's like the 1 and the 5 kind of thing, and then I don't remember the ones in between in the correct order. But you mentioned recently that there is an advantage of having the drone, so that tanpura. Keeping a steady sound, and that's a perfect example of going from minor to major without having to change the underlying frequency. I thought it was a great moment of that. I know you've been talking about that a few times. It's like, wow, it is.
I've been loving it, which is fascinating for me, because I'm just such a lover of chord progressions. I mean, that's
yes.
I mean, I love all that stuff and what it can do to a melody. But as I've been discovering through our Indian music foray, when you keep the same harmonic tonality, so basically staying and droning in one chord, it opens up a world of different things melodically that you can do. You can kind of do that.
Yeah.
Excuse my bad mimic of it, but there's it just opens the door to a lot, and that's not just the only thing. It's like you can go outside of the scale, because it leaves room for that, like each one of those notes goes, you can use
it works on some level, exactly, where if you had a full chord playing or the chord changing, all of a sudden that doesn't work.
Yeah, it narrows your scope a little bit. It kind of pigeonholes you a little bit into what can work, but when you keep it open, like the one droning chord, it's great. Minor.
Yep. I need to show videos like this to my students, because he's taking on it's got kind of like a formant, we'll say a posture of a specific vowel to begin with, and just these subtle manipulations with his lips, maybe a little bit of jaw, maybe a little tongue, but like all these little playful things that just lets it evolve and unfold in really interesting ways, rather than just because that would get mundane, right? And in any genre of music, there's an advantage of taking even a word. If we take an English word like sun, if you just do these like little things that just makes it feel alive, it's something to, that can be borrowed from, or maybe a better word is to inspire other genres of how to use your articulator muscles to just make the word just kind of feel, just kind of chew on it a little bit.
It's again, a heavily textured type of music.
Yeah, it makes
where
it
it's literally
far
you
more
just
interesting.
Take one note, which obviously it's more than just, there's so many things interesting melodically, but you can literally just have one note, and with what they do with adorning that note can make it interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a riff, or it doesn't have to be breathy. It doesn't have to be those things. It's changing the formant, the overtones is another way to make it feel alive, not just go to a different note, make it breathy,
right?
Add grit or any of those other textures. Yeah, it's just great demonstration of that. Johnny, can you think of in the history of U.S. television would they allow a 17-minute piece of music to exist? Maybe PBS special, maybe.
Yeah.
But this to be just celebrated and to be enjoyed and captured in this way. Usually everything, especially now, is just brought down to, well, how many seconds is it, right? And sometimes you could tell a story in that amount. I'm not knocking that. There's an art to being able to do it well. But this music, as we've seen, I mean, we've tried a few times to react to a raga that's like 3-4 minutes, is like the end clip, and it's impressive. But everyone keeps saying, no, you have to see the beginning. And I'm starting to understand.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm really starting to comprehend the why, to lead to where we are, to go from point A to being elevated to this other plateau musically. We can't always accommodate that with our limited time when we can record and everything for reactions, but I get it. I totally get it. And this is short. 17 minutes is a fraction of the 3-hour ragas, right?
Yeah. No, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that in this country. And that's a reason why everybody's on Prozac and anxiety medication, because we've lost the skill to be able to, to just be silent and be still for 17 seconds of anything, let alone this amazing music. But with this type of music, I mean, the great thing about it is if you just give it a minute, even if your inner momentum is like you're going 100 miles an hour and your minds in 100 different directions, because life can get stressful and hectic with just jobs and everything like that. Just give it a minute and it changes your whole chemistry. It's just like, and there's times throughout this performance it's just a spontaneous breath happens
release
with me, like a sigh, and I'm not trying to make it happen. It's just like, oh yeah, right. Okay, calm down.
Yes.
And it's a meditation.
It's
for sure.
Pretty magical.
साजन मोरे घर आए, साजन मोरे घर आए, साजन मोरे घर आए, मोरे घर आए, साजन मोरे घर आए, साजन मोरे घर आए, साजन मोरे साजन मोरे घर, साजन मोरे साजन साजन मोरे घर साजन मोरे आए, साजन मोरे घर आए, मन मेरो सुख पाए, मन मेरो सुख पाए, साजन मोरे घर आए, साजन मोरे घर, साजन मोरे घर, साजन मोरे घर आए.
So it's speeding up. So would this be the drut? You guys can let me know in the comments. There's an obvious pause and shift taking place at this point. In this moment, I want to address something. I don't know if I've referenced the 7 dimensions of singing. So this is the technique that I developed. And the premise is that the sound you produce, speaking, laughing, crying, singing, any phonation that takes place requires a combination of muscle movement and space and air pressure, of course. So this is the 7 dimensions: flexibility, breathing, intonation, range, tone, articulation, strength. We have other videos on the channel if you want to learn more about this. But what I want to bring up is breath control. Holy breath control. Not just because he has long phrases, but his ability to manipulate the muscles below the larynx, which is breathing, having the right amount of air underneath the folds to address intonation. I mean, he's just dancing everywhere. Everywhere he wants to dance, I should say. Exactly. But having the correct amount of air underneath makes or breaks the possibility of not just getting the note, but telling the story, which has to do with the tone aspect. Having the acoustical space in the throat, the oral cavity, the nasal cavity, just anywhere where air molecules can bounce around. And then on top of that, his articulation, the lips, tongue, and jaw, as I was mentioning earlier, these little manipulations, muscle flexing, and just finesse of things. For just these four things to coexist so fluidly is impressive enough. But then you have the stability of his voice, you have the flexibility of his voice, and then, of course, how he's moving in his range. I mean, it's just a great demonstration of skill while having this wonderful piece of music, the story that he's telling. I'm not clear on the story itself. I know it's a nighttime raga, as we mentioned, but there's peace, there's joy, there's exploration. I mean, those are the feelings that I'm getting from it. But
yeah, and going off of what you just said, I mean, the control that he has ties into what I was noticing with just his presence on stage. He's not being he's in control of what he wants to do. And if you're out of balance with any of those dimensions that Richard was talking about, balance. It starts to it is the thing that's in control. So if your breath is out of control, then it's like your muscles start to react.
Everything else everything else is compromised.
Yeah, everything else is compromised. So the fact that he's under control from a technical standpoint, vocally, but also musically as well, he's obviously well trained.
Yeah,
just knows the theory, knows everything musically speaking as well. So when you have that level of expertise, then it becomes, okay, how do I want to express this on stage? There's that freedom to express it how you want it.
Exactly.
And I love how present he is, how present and connected he is with the other singers. In a very, he's dictating, he's teaching in almost like a instructor kind of way, but it's
that's exactly,
which is really neat. But he's like the coolest instructor ever, because he's just like, right. Not the whack you over head with the ruler instructor. He's the cool instructor.
Let us know in the comments. Are these his students, or are these just up and comers? Are these other well-established singers? We don't have reference for that. So yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
कलना परे तुम बिना मोहे 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 ना जानू भाल ना जानू भाल कलना परे तुम बिना मोहे कलना परे तुम बिना मोहे जानू बाला मावा ना जानू बाला मावा कलना परे तुम बिना मोहे कलना परे हाँ कलना परे हाँ कलना परे हाँ कलना परे तुम बिना मोहे कलना परे गमग कलना परे मब गमग कलना परे पनी मब गमग कलना परे सग गमग मब पनी गमग कलना परे गमग मब पनी मब गमग कलना परे गमग मब पनी निसनी सग निसनी पनी मब गमग कलना परे तुम बिना मोहे कलना परे
Yeah.
So they're sort of implying a chord change. It still has the drone, so the drone is in D. But when they're going the da 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 da, you can almost hear a G chord over that, superimposed over that D drone.
Sure. Which would be the fifth of the chord. Or no.
Da, 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 da. No, fourth.
Yeah, fourth, sorry. Right.
Da, 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 da.
I was thinking in the chord G, the D would be the fifth. That's where my brain was.
Right.
But
Yes,
but yeah, the
correct.
coloration that's there.
I love the celebratory nature of this, though, too.
Yeah.
But it's still intoxicating, even though it has a different energy to it.
Yes. Again, I'm not clear. Is this devotional piece? It feels like that to me. It feels like you're saying celebratory. It feels like we're going into a place of devotion, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. That'll be the breath control you're talking about.
Yeah. Wow. That was cool.
I love these videos. It's such an experience, and I get done with it, I just feel so much better.
I feel in the same way. There's I feel like I weigh less. Just a little bit.
It's you're touching into something deeper, and it helps you do that. It touches into your being, as they say, you know.
Yes. What control? That balance between skill and, you know, a little bit of showmanship, a little bit of just connection to the audience, and then his fellow musicians and singers on the stage. It's just everything about that felt balanced.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us today.
Yes,
we hope you
thank you.
enjoyed us. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Yes, and also, if you would be so kind, check out our Indian music playlist. We have a couple different ones, so make sure you check them out.
See you in the next video.
See you guys.